Teachers at a school in Birmingham have gone on strike today in protest at what they say is poor discipline. They say changes introduced by the head teacher have had a detrimental impact on pupils' behaviour.
In a statement, the head says he's disappointed at the action which has gone ahead despite numerous meetings to try to resolve the issues. Shirley Henry reports.
Wind-blown and wet, but out on strike. These teachers should be taking lessons at Vale Performing Arts College, but instead they're on the picket line.
It's not that we want a day off or anything, we'd rather be teaching the kids, but that's the thing, we're here because we want to teach the kids, and at the moment we're not feeling that we're able to teach the kids as well as we would.
Teachers say pupils are misbehaving and management isn't listening. Out of 75 secondary schools in Birmingham, last year Vale had one of the lowest GCSE results. 29% of students gained 5 good GCSEs. That compares to a Birmingham average of 58%.
The teachers are willing to teach. Personally, I think they are the ones that teach me, but there's some of the other teachers that don't bother, to be honest.
The most naughty boys that just have a go at them, swear, and they just disrupt lessons.
The head teacher was in school today, but wasn't available for interview. In a statement, the school's head, Clive Owen, said he was disappointed and disturbed by this action, which he says will damage the education of pupils, many of whom are close to sitting their GCSEs. Teachers going on strike is always controversial, but what do parents think?
It's ridiculous that they're striking over trying to sort the kids out, trying to help the kids. Well, they're not helping them by closing the school down, are they?
If the industrial action has to take place because the teachers don't seem to be gaining that respect within the classroom, then so be it.
This is turning into a bitter dispute, and unless both sides reach an agreement, there'll be 2 more strike days later this month. Shirley Henry, BBC Midlands Today, Vale.
Well, since we mentioned it on our lunchtime news, you've been in touch. Here's just a couple of your comments.
Yes, Jude Drummond says parents should be aware decisions such as this are not taken lightly. Parents complain that striking damages their children's education. Wrong. Disruptive, foul-mouthed and aggressive children do this. Teachers want to get on with the very important task of educating our children.
And Stuart from Lichfield emailed. He says the teachers are being judged harshly, particularly over exam results where other Birmingham schools perform poorly as well. Well, joining us now is Liam Nolan, a so-called superhead teacher who turned around the once failing Perry Beaches School in Birmingham, making it the most improved school in the country in just 3 years. Very good evening to you, Mr. Nolan. Thanks for coming in. First of all, what do you make then of the walkout by teachers at Vale Performing Arts College?
Look, in my opinion, teachers don't enter this profession in order to strike, Suzanne. That isn't what they're about, and they're great teachers down at Vale. They must have reached the end of their tether, really. There's something must not have been done. This is where discussions have broken down and meetings with unions have obviously not worked. And it's a great shame. And the losers are children and their education.
And I understand that you were approached to step in and give help and advice to the school. Did that happen?
Well, lots of people were approached. Lots of people have been asked and spoken to for a long time now about supporting staff in Vale and supporting the system. Yes, it did happen, and it was not deemed appropriate that Perry Beaches be the school to support.
So you weren't given the chance to go into the school and help out?
It was in discussion, but lots of people were in discussion. You know, Perry Beaches at the time, 5 years ago, was 21% of students getting the best GCSEs, so far lower than Vale.
So you would have been ideally positioned, I suppose, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, to go in and sort of try and help. Possibly Perry Beaches might have been a school to help out, but that wasn't deemed appropriate. Just coming back to that comment by some teachers and parents, they're concerned about the discipline, the lack of discipline is failing pupils. How important is that to educational achievement? Discipline and educational achievement? It's really important, isn't it? I mean, it's the whole package, the whole picture. It's about creating young people who want to learn in a team, in a school where they can be successful, isn't it? So it's getting staff and students working together. You know, at Perry Beaches, that's something we work on enormously, and that seems to work for us. And the key word there is respect. Respect. Our respect agenda is well known. Yeah, it is. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us. No problem. Thank you.